Good evening and hello, distinguished panel of judges. My name is Luke Valadez, and thank you for attending the 2024 Molecule of the Year. And I will be introducing our nominee, Naphthol, which was founded in 1911. And we will be discussing whether or not Naphthol is a hero or a villain. So here's a closer look. Naphthol's chemical formula consists of C10, H8, and O. The physical properties include molecular weight, which is 144.17 grams per mole. It has a formal charge of 0, a boiling point of 561 Kelvin, a melting point of 369.15 Kelvin, and it's said to have solubility in water of 866 milligrams per liter at 25 degrees Celsius, and it has a molecular shape of crystalline organic compound belonging to a phenyl group. So, where can Naphthol be found? Naphthol is actually a naturally occurring substance which can be found in Selaginella sinensis and Juglans nigra and Magnolia liliflora. Some common and more practical uses of the molecule itself is that Naphthol is actually selectively used as an antiseptic. One of the earliest and safer forms of antiseptics is used, aside from carbolic acid, which was first discovered by Dr. Lister back in like 1867. The antiseptic of Naphthol is generally used to target tumors in colonic tissue. And it is found in common drugstore products such as hair dyes, also in insecticides over the counter. These insecticides can be found in CVS, Walgreens, HEB, Walmart. Think of like any kind of big pop-up shop, superstore. You find an insecticide there, it's most likely going to have Naphthol in it. So, Naphthol was originally discovered in 1911, and Naphthol's side effects make it a huge constituent of mustard gas. Mustard gas was primarily used in warfare and guerrilla tactics, and it causes acute nerve damage and side effects, and it is also an inhibitor. It works directly closely inhibiting certain functions of your body on a microscopic level to your DNA, and it essentially causes fatigue, hardness of breathing, convulsions, asphyxiation, and ultimately leading to death. It's also said to have certain effects on reproductive activity. Generally, it causes infertility in males, and then it could be passed down through the bloodline, depending on how severe it is. Its side effects are mainly acute, but can also be chronic. And yeah. So, the relationship with Naphthol and the environment. Naphthol is pretty controversial. It was particularly controversial in like the 1970s to probably the early 2000s. It wasn't very regulated at all. It's a major contributor to pollution in streams. This primarily occurs from runoffs of nearby farms. Insecticides and pesticides are only regulated on an industrial level, so the government isn't really looking at over-the-counter pesticides and insecticides because their side effects aren't as critical as more powerful and potent ones like DDT that was just banned recently. However, it does contribute to bioaccumulation and magnification within the ecosystem. And if you're not aware of that, bioaccumulation can occur in a single organism and magnification can occur throughout the food web. So say if a fish eats algae or some type of vertebrate consumes some type of algae and then something else consumes that fish and then so on and so forth, it's going to magnify throughout the ecosystem and it can ultimately come back to us as human beings. So, this is my end credits. And ultimately, we looked at Naphthol being whether or not it's a villain or a superhero. And yes, Naphthol has been proven to be a pretty considerable antiseptic, but however, it's primarily used in pesticides and insecticides and dyes, so it's only contributing to something that really isn't necessary. So I'm gonna have to place it in the villain category because it's something that we could have lived without. There's better options for antiseptics, and I'm pretty sure nobody wants to consume hair dyes or insecticides or pesticides, and especially if they're being used in warfare.